What's up? As you can probably tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be giving my thoughts and opinions about what's going to be happening this weekend. Dreamhack Valencia technically has already started, but the Brawlhalla part of things starts technically in a couple of hours. So by the time this video is up, you'll have a brief amount of time to kind of see what my opinions are before the 2v2 things start to happen, and then 1v1s will happen the following day. I just want to give my brief opinion on kind of how this weekend's going to look from an outside perspective, and then I'll kind of follow through tomorrow night, kind of say, oh, here's what's happened since, here's what happened in twos, kind of break down what happened, as well as give my opinions on how ones are going to look as a result of the results of the 2v2s. And then I'll try to give my post-tournament thoughts as what has happened overall, kind of reevaluate what my general opinion was going into the tournament. But without further ado, let's get right on into the bracket. This is the Smash.gg page for Dreamhack Valencia. As I said earlier, in a couple hours, 2v2s will be starting up. So I will go ahead and start talking about that as well. For those of you who don't fully understand the tournament system, it'll probably be waves in two pools, and there it is. Yeah, so it's going to be 4 pools. The winner of these 4 pools make it into the top 12, and you can see here pool 1 winner goes versus pool 4 winner, so on and so forth, until we get our grand finals. This is what most people are used to, that kind of double elimination side of things, but we have to get through pools first. So real quick, pool 1 has Animestic Cake, Axo Viper, Sticky Daz, and those are kind of your big 3. I think very obviously Animestic and Cake are your favorites to make it through. Worth noting, Viper did incredibly well at Dreamhack Summer, which was not too long ago. He did, I believe, have a different partner with Ariel, but definitely the team to look out for. Sticky and Daz, kind of an interesting, they would be arguably like kind of the dark horse of that. I don't believe 3 teams make it out. Let me see here. Well, there's 4 pools, so 3 make it out. So it's there's a very real possibility Sticky and Daz make it out on the lower side. I think you'd be hard pressed to have Animestic and Cake not make it out on the winner side of things. Obviously, coming into this, they are still the #1 power ranked 1v1 and 2v2. After the following weekend, after summer championships, we might see that kind of shake up, as that will be the first time, that'll be the start of the new season where we'll see power rankings kind of change, and potentially might start to see power rankings change more frequently. I don't fully understand the system of that, but it is worth noting that Dreamhack Valencia is one of the last tournaments where you will have the opportunity to change your power ranking. So again, Animestic and Cake, they're still sitting pretty at the top, so that's why they're pool 1, they're the #1 seed, and again, they are the favorites to make it out of that pool. Axo and Viper, definitely a real threat. You'll probably see them both fight in the winners, but I think for now, Animestic and Cake will make it out on top, and then there's a possibility that Axo and Viper will go down into the lower side on this, and then whoopsies, pools, go back to pools, pool 2. Again, Boomy and Remy, definitely the favorites. I would say they're the favorites to win this tournament, the strongest NA 2v2 team, and definitely have proven they are an incredibly strong just overall LAN team. Boomy has won the last 2 LAN Dreamhack 2v2s, if I'm not mistaken. He and Remy won Dreamhack Austin, and then he alongside Daiku won Dreamhack Summer, so they are very much the favorites. Other than that, honestly, it's kind of a toss-up. Hermison and Spirit Wolf, they're solid players for sure. I think they're gonna make it through. After that, I'm honestly not overly familiar with a lot of these other teams, so really it's gonna be Boomy, Remy, Hermison, and Spirit Wolf, and I think we're gonna see an unnamed team that nobody's really seen before. At this point, though, your guess is as good as mine, because I'm not overly familiar with any of these. I mean, it could be just a local team. It could be a team that literally walks up, because I think they're having just open signups still. But definitely Boomy and Remy are the team that's going to make it out of that pool. This is going to be an interesting one. Noelle and Egg Soup. Blood Diamond not able to make it out, but Egg Soup is. Gonna be the first time we've seen Egg Soup at a Dreamhack as of this year. So very excited to see how well they do. If it was Noel and Blood Diamond, I'd say they were one of the stronger teams. Definitely favored to be top 8. I think this team is still favored to make it out top 8, but it's gonna be interesting. Other than that, though, this pool is also another kind of toss-up pool. Akasu, he's definitely been in the scene. I'm familiar with the player, but other than that, a bunch of names I'm not overly familiar with. Your guess is as good as mine again on that one. And then in pool 4, we got Dobrain Daiku, definitely an exciting one. We've got Goosey, M for Mini. We've got Chugum. No way, that's not the real Chugum. What? I honestly wasn't expecting that. Well, that's interesting. Definitely want to see what happens there. And then there's Laser Spinola, kind of local, I think. He said he was what did he say he was French? I'm not sure. But this is a little bit more familiar names. Definitely Dobrain and Daiku and Goosey and Mini are the two favorites. I don't think you can 100% say one or the other. It is worth noting Dobrain has been playing on 60 Hz lately, so he's definitely had a little bit more practice. Daiku's got this new play style. This is kind of an old team, Dobrain and Daiku. They've been together before, but on the other side, Goosey and Mini, they are a very strong team. Blew up last year, absolutely dominated. M for Mini was like one of the top players in EU for a period of time, and then kind of disappeared. We'll see how well they do. Definitely want to keep an eye out on this team. I'd say top 3 to make it out: Dobrain, Daiku, Goosey, Mini, and I'd lean towards Laser Spinola. No offense to Chugum, but Chugum is a little bit less known in the scene. He's a little bit more old school, like 2015, 2016 Brawlhalla, whereas Laser Spinola is a little bit more of a recent player. Also, Laser Spinola I know for a fact is EU, whereas Chugum I was fairly certain was an NA player. But definitely interesting to see Chugum's name pop up. I want to see how well he does. So yeah, going into that, I'd say the top 4 to make it out, it was this one. I'd say Dobrain Daiku. I lean a little bit more Dobrain Daiku, and they'll be going up against Animestic here. And then on this side, it was what Boomy Remy, and then I said Noel Egg Soup. Going out of that, Boomy Remy, Addy, and we've seen that matchup before. Addy Cake, Boomy Remy. We've seen that 100 times. Boomy Remy win out 100 times. They're gonna be going into the grand finals, I think, fairly clearly. Down this side, I think we're gonna see some names we're not overly familiar with, and then I'll break down over here. And I don't know, if anyone makes the lower bracket run from all the way back here, I'd put my money more towards the Viper team. Unfortunately, they are in the same pool as Addy and Cake, so they won't be out here in the upper side of things, but I think they can make the run pretty far. If they run up against Addy and Cake again, I think they might be able to take it out. I think that's how it worked out in Summers as well, where Viper and Ariel lost to Addy and Cake, and then they came back, won it out. So we could see that happen, but I'd say, I don't know, it gets tough towards this later stage of things. I think Boomy and Remy definitely the favorites. Addy and Cake would be a strong second, but we haven't seen them have as much success in lanes in 2s. So there's a very real possibility that Noel and Egg Soup make it, or Dobrain and Daiku make it out of it. I mean, Dobrain just tweeted today, like this tweet, and I'll win Dreamhack. Who knows? Maybe this is what he's what he's put all his eggs in, is the 2v2 scene. I think it'd be really cool to see Dobrain and Daiku make it all the way through. But even then, I do think Boomy and Remy are very much the clear favorites of the 2v2 scene. They have proven time and time again that they are absolute 2v2 land monsters. So definitely want to keep an eye on that. It's going to be streamed. I believe Dreamhack Fighters is going to be having most of it, but there's going to be parts of pools and everything over at Brawlhalla, twitch.tv/Brawlhalla. So I'll definitely have an eye on both of those, have one on each monitor, something like that. But very excited to see how that shakes out. Definitely want to see how far Chugum makes it. Definitely want to see how far Viper makes it with a different teammate than he had at Summers. But Viper is a very strong player. Definitely excited to see how well he goes. Agzo is a very strong player as well. Definitely, they're like the close 5th out of all of the teams, which is unfortunate because that puts them in pool 1. But that's kind of my predictions for the 2v2 side of things. And then hopping on over to the 1v1 side of things, this is where there's a lot of people, and then it becomes no people, because there's a very real possibility that people aren't going to check into their pools. Can I just like see the predictions? No, I can't. Like, there's just not even a thing, huh? I really should have done this ahead of time. Either way, yeah, so because there's a check-in system, people are checking in right now. I think some people have already checked in. They can be checking in today and tomorrow. So some people have already checked in, which I think is what this 45 entrance number is. But we don't have a full list of everyone. I just want like, can I just like kind of glance? I think, so definitely you can see the notable names here, yeah. So there's Addy, Dobrain, Noel, Boomy, Remy, Empermini, Cake, Daiku, Sticky, Hermesin. I think Egg Soup is another name that you'll likely expect to see here. Egg Soup not as well known for his 1v1s. He definitely has said in the past that he favors the 2v2 side of things. But I want to see how well he does. I would definitely root for Egg Soup as a player. He's someone who's very interesting to watch, very exciting to watch. Doesn't have the most success. I think when it comes down to it, grand finals, I'm just going to call it now. It's probably going to be at least Boomy and or Noel. I think there's almost no way that an NA player does not make it to the grand finals. If you don't see Boomy, then you're going to see Noel. If you don't see Noel, you're going to see Boomy. Addy Mestic, definitely one of the favorites. Again, he's still the #1 power ranked player. So definitely expect him to do well. I could see him going top 8, top 3. But it's still NA's game right now. NA has been dominating. On that note, there's only, I think, 4 players from NA going over. That's Boomy, Remy, Noel, and Egg Soup. Remy, he is an incredibly strong player, but he has had land nerfs or something happen. I don't know what the end result usually is, but he generally doesn't get the placements that we expect out of Remy. He performs a lot better online when he's in his comfort zone, but when he goes to land, things happen, and he ends up falling a little bit short of what is generally projected. As well as, again, we haven't seen Egg Soup at land, so he's going to be a little bit of a dark horse. Definitely a lot of people are aware of how he plays online. Definitely a lot of people know what to expect from him. He's no stranger to lands. He showed up at BCX both years, so he is not going to be out of his comfort zone per se, but it is going to be the first time seeing Egg Soup at LAN at Valencia. It's a whole new environment. Valencia over in Spain. He's got to cross the ocean. I don't know when he made the journey. Don't know if he's gotten over his jet lag yet. So there's definitely a lot of factors that could come into play here. But those are kind of the 4 NA players, and like I said, Noel, Boomy. Definitely expect at least one of them to make it into the grand finals, and definitely expect Boomy's tier list that he posted recently to come true. Definitely expect at least a Hattori or an Asuri to make it. A lot of Hattoris and Asuris will be in top 8. Addy Mestic will probably be the one stranger to that. He'll be on that Val. More often than not, he plays the Val through any matchup. I think Dobrain might depart from that tier list as well. He might lean towards the Scythe, I think. I never know when Dobrain's going to bust out. Noel will be on the Asuri, Boomy will be on the Hattori, Remy will be on the Hattori, Daiku will probably be on the Hattori as well. And for Mini, he favors the Axe, but I don't know if he's going to be starting off with that Olgram. We'll see. I think he actually changed it up. I think he was on the Bryn, which is still a little bit leaning towards what Boomy's been saying, which is that Spear is a really strong option. Spear and Axe, I think, fell a little bit above mid-ground on his tier list overall, but he definitely said that Qatar's... No, wait. It was Qatar's, Scythe, and Spear, right? Those are the top 3. I'm forgetting it. Either way, expect Empermini to be going in with an Axe. That's kind of what his mainstay is. He started off with the Ogrim, but I think he switched over. Might see him bust out the Ragnar as well, but definitely he'll have an Axe and one of those higher tier weapons. Cake, he's been on the Queen Nai, and he's been on the Core. Those were 2s. Now I'm blanking on his 1v1 character. I feel bad. No, Bryn. He has a Bryn as well. So definitely gonna see some characters like that. But as far as NA goes, it's what Boomy said, and I'm still saying NA is gonna be in those grand finals at the very least. And then I'd be very surprised to see NA not take it all the way. And this is not just the American Indian speaking, this is just how history has shown itself, especially across this year. NA's been taken out every single time. In Summers is the best indication. Noel and Boomy were the grand finalists, and Noel closed it out. Could very well see the exact same thing happen here. But that, without further ado, has been my predictions for Dreamhack Valencia. We'll see how much of that holds true as we get into tomorrow. And then we'll see how much I have to eat my words and talk about how well Daiku played going into the 1v1s. I don't know. That's just a name. But either way, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. And I hope to see you guys watching the tournament as well.